Wow, this UMiDiGi S2 Lite is a very good looking phone. This is pretty sick, especially for 150 bucks. If you want to see more videos like this, why not subscribe? It's free. So this is the UMiDiGi S2 Lite, a light version of the UMiDiGi S2 Pro, which was a very expensive but a pretty decent phone with pretty horrible software. So I really hope that UMiDiGi has stepped up their game with the UMiDiGi S2 Lite, and we'll see how good it is. So let's unbox this phone and look at what we have. So it's a very nice unboxing experience with a new type of box where you slide it out this way, and this is the box itself. So here you can see that the UMiDiGi S2 Lite has not that great specifications: MTK6750T, Android 7.0, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 or 32 gigs of storage, 6-inch 720p display, and a 16 megapixel camera. But then again, you do get some pretty good network connectivity. You get 4 GSM bands, 4 WCDMA bands, and 4 LTE bands as well, which means that it should work on 3G in US and Canada, but no LTE in US. All right, box opening time. Let's go. And here it says link to the world. And let's see what we have in here. Most likely, there we go, a SIM popper, as well as a manual. And this manual is probably not going to be super useful. And it's in English. Well, it's multi-language as well. So let's put that aside. And here we have a nice red USB cable. I really like red USB cables. They look very nice. And this is a USB-C as well. And here we have a USB-C to headphone jack, which means that there is no headphone jack on this phone. Very, very sad. And finally, all right, let's put all this stuff aside and look at the phone itself. So the phone comes with a pretty cheap TPU case, which is honestly not that great quality. It's flexible, it's pretty crappy, but it'll do in a pinch, just to use it until you get a proper case for this phone. Here, let's peel the screen protector. Wow, this UMiDiGi S2 Lite is a very good looking phone. This is pretty sick, especially for 150 bucks. So I quickly grabbed my UMiDiGi S2 Pro. On the left side, it's the black color, and as you can see, these phones look completely identical. Obviously, the UMiDiGi S2 Lite in red looks a lot better than the black version, but both of them feel very good quality, and they're pretty much the exact same size, so no complaints there. The build of this phone is very good. It's metal and it feels very nice, and as you can see, there are even nice antenna bands going at the top and the bottom of the phone. And on the back of the phone, you see the fingerprint sensor, LED, and the dual cameras, and most likely a microphone pin slot over there. And here we have the 2 buttons, the power and the volume, SIM slot, nothing here, and a USB slot. So let's turn on the phone and see what we got. So I've turned on the phone and I've set up my Google account, and I am so happy with UMiDiGi. They have listened to customer feedback and responded. If you remember, the older UMiDiGi S2 Pro had the UMiDiGi skin on top of it, as you can see on the right side. But now, as you can see, there is stock Android back on UMiDiGi phones. So happy. That means I can finally start recommending UMiDiGi phones as great devices again, because there was a lot of bloatware on the UMiDiGi S2 Pro and a really ugly skin, but now we are back to stock Android. So I've opened Google Play Store so you can see how big the bezels are, and as you can see, the bezels here are actually not too big. The top and the bottom bezels are fairly small. You can't really fit a home button at the bottom, and there's pretty much just enough space for all the sensors you require at the top. The side bezels are a little bit bigger than usual. As you can see, there's the black part of the bezels, and then there's the red curves that curves out, which makes the bezels look a little bit bigger. But then again, the bezels on this phone are quite slim, and the phone looks quite good as well. Very impressed. Let's take a quick look at the screen, and the screen here is quite good looking. As you can see, the colors on the screen are deep and saturated. Take a look at the roofs on top of this picture, as well as the clouds that really make the picture look really saturated. And you can see that there is quite a lot of detail even in the mountains in the back over here. And as you can see, the next picture, there is really good separation between the colors, between the grass, the asphalt, and the sky. And here, the sunset is quite nice as well. And here you can see that the fall colors are very nice. I do see that the red area over here looks a little bit better on the camera than it does in real life, but nevertheless, the screen still looks really good. And here, as you can see, this picture looks very crisp, very clear. You can see that the raindrops on the pine needles are very clear and easy to see, and they look very good as well. And finally, you can see that this picture looks a tiny bit washed out, but it's actually not. In real life, this picture looks very, very good. And this is overall a very good screen, and I'm very, very impressed. Let's take a look at the audio here. I'm going to play a clip from Kung Fu Hustle that you can watch. So that was a very quick first look of the UMiDiGi S2 Lite, and to be honest, I have very high hopes for this as a budget device from UMiDiGi because it has stock Android. So far, my first impressions for this device are very good, and I really hope that the camera performs well also, because that is going to be the biggest weak point in this device if it is a weak point at all. So be sure to stay tuned for my camera review and the full review of the UMiDiGi S2 Lite, and if you want to be alerted when those get dropped, be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.